The Eagles got the win and continue to be the top team in the NFL. Well, at least the NFC. Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is. Covering news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, right here on the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network. You can also find me, Phillips, hosting all different kinds of content on my YouTube channel, the STT Sports Network. Make sure you check it out. I've got the YouTube channel linked below in the description. Click it, subscribe, and tune in daily to the morning show trending in the AM, the live watch parties, and all the other great content there. And there's also a video form of this on that channel as well. Guys, the Eagles on Monday night took care of the Green Bay Packers with a huge high-scoring affair, winning a grand total of 10-7, almost like a baseball score to an extent. But the Eagles got the win. And this week, especially on the radio and the mainstream media, you're going to hear a lot of talk about the Eagles offense only putting up 10 points. You're going to hear a lot about A.J. Brown only having 2 catches. You're going to hear a lot about Saquon Barkley only having 60 rushing yards despite 22 carries. But I think the big picture is going to be massively missed this week when discussing this football game. Yes, the Eagles had a little bit of trouble late in the game closing out a few drives. Yes, they did not move the ball effectively all game long. But I am coming away from this game extremely ecstatic with where the Eagles sit. And why is that? Because you just went up against one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL, one of the top 10 offenses in the NFL in the Green Bay Packers, and you won the football game. I mean, I don't know why everyone's going to complain, and I know they're going to complain. I'm going to avoid the radio and TV as much as possible this week because you know they're all going to use it as an excuse. Well, the Eagles and Jalen Hurts only put up 10 points. Well, a lot of teams struggle to score against this Green Bay Packers defense. So the fact that we were able to do just enough to win the game and the fact that our defense was able to hold a very, very potent Green Bay Packers offense to only 7 points, I'm going to look at the positives. Let's look at the offense first. Jalen Hurts was 15 of 26, 183 yards, 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions. He did have 1 fumble on his long run late in the first quarter. Was not sacked 1 time. That vaunted Packers defensive pass rush did not sack him once, and he had a 92.3 quarterback rating. Obviously, Devontae Smith had the big touchdown catch, 4 catches, 69 yards. Dallas Goedert, 4 catches, 43 yards. Saquon Barkley had a big 41-yard catch to set up the Saquon Barkley touchdown, or the Devontae Smith touchdown. A.J. Brown obviously only had 2 catches on 13 yards. The Packers did everything they could. They shut down A.J. Brown. They slowed down Saquon Barkley, but the Eagles still found a way to win. The pass rush or the offensive line was not good at all. Multiple false start penalties on Jordan Mailata. Lane Johnson got hurt and missed over half the game, somehow miraculously coming back in late in the game. But the Eagles offense found a way to move the football when necessary. They did make the 1 turnover, but they found a way to win this game and control the clock throughout the majority of this game. So while it sounds bad, and Kevin Patullo's play calling on those last 2 drives, that deep ball pass to A.J. Brown, going for it on 4th down, there are some questionable decisions there. But outside of that, I think it was a very positive statement from this Eagles offense. Now, defensively speaking, the Eagles defense just dominated, manhandled the Packers offense. Jordan Love was held to 176 yards, 20 of 36. He did not turn the ball over interception-wise, but he did have 2 fumbles in the game, along with Josh Jacobs having a fumble. We did sack him 3 times, but our defensive pass rush had him on his butt. 8 registered quarterback hits and countless other hurries. Jalen Phillips, in his first game with the Eagles, obviously had a couple quarterback hits, a couple tackles for losses, 6 tackles total. You had sacks by Nakobe Dean, Jalen Hunt, and Nolan Smith. You had this team all over the place. Jalen Carter's game on Monday night will completely be missed because of Jalen Phillips and some of the other guys. He only had a couple tackles, but he wreaked havoc. I saw him line up on the outside a few times, and also 2 batted balls at the line of scrimmage, at least that I remember counting. Jalen Carter does that all the time. It's something that I always talk about. If you can't get home at the pass rush, just raise your hands. Clog up those passing lanes with your hands, those big mitts on those defensive tackles. And that's what Jalen Carter did. The defense did their job. Quinion Mitchell, again, a complete and total lockdown effort. Obviously, they were missing a lot of their wide receivers. Christian Watson went down in the game. Obviously, They are missing Tucker Kraft, their main tight end. Now, there are some issues for the secondary for the Green Bay Packers, but we took care of business. Made the plays when necessary, created the turnovers when necessary, and won the football game. And again, you're going to hear all the negatives. You're going to hear about criticism of Vic Fangio giving up that last long drive that resulted in a touchdown to close the gap before the end of the game. You're going to hear all the negative from the media. But I'm here to tell you that winning that football game, if I would have told you before the season started that going into Week 11 against the Detroit Lions, we'd be 7-2, you would have all called me crazy. Nuts, completely nuts. But no. Something else that we get talked about a lot. Everybody talks. Somebody on my streams always say the cowards draw plays. 3rd and long, run the ball to be conservative. The Eagles lead the league in design runs on 3rd and 7 or longer with 15 through their 9 games. Okay, it's worth noting though, and this stat is from Zach Berman, that despite that, there's only 3 other teams that have done that 10 times or more, and all 3 of them right now would be playoff teams. 2 division winners right now: Seattle, who we're tied with, but we have the tiebreaker over for the number 1 seed, the Seattle Seahawks, the Indianapolis Colts, and Daniel Jones leading their division in the AFC North, and the Kansas City Chiefs, who arguably are one of the greatest teams of the last decade. They know the importance of running the ball on 3rd and long because sometimes you catch the defense sleeping, but also, low risk, low reward kind of plays like that. You don't have to force things. There were a couple bad passes from Jalen Hurts on Monday night, and even I could say that. They were bad passes because they tried to force things, force it when it's not there. And I love the fact when you look at the box score of this Eagles-Packers game, you see that despite not being able to run the ball at a very effective rate, the Eagles still stuck with it. They stuck with the running game despite it not working. And I'm having trouble resetting my screen here to get the box score back up. But they ran the ball a lot more than they passed the ball, which is obviously something you like to see. Anyway, we got lots on tap. I got to get into the numbers. I got to dive into the nitty-gritty of this game. We'll be back Thursday and Friday with more episodes of Eagles Check Down with that information. Also, as we get locked in and loaded for Sunday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. But for now, everybody have a great day. Keep your head high. Keep your chin up because it was a really damn good win. Go Birds. And bubbles up.